Welcome to the show. My name is Karim Kanji. Happy to be with you again this week. We have a very great guest, someone that I met like 3 years ago when you first started. Please welcome Gail Gabrielle Ordogh. How are you?
Good, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Now you're in my workspace.
I know, weird.
But there's no like loud music or massive screens. We have a nice small one.
No distractions
over here.
Yeah.
For those who don't know you, and I know a lot of people in Toronto know you, you are the community manager and host, I guess, of RealSports, both the popular bar as well as the apparel store.
Yeah. At one point, they called me the personality.
The personality.
Right.
You were the personality.
The main point of contact and the person that represented the brand.
You were there. I remember every day.
Every game.
Every game.
Yeah.
Even when there was no MLSE game going on. I remember meeting you there for a UFC event.
UFC, sure. Anything big that was going on, for sure. I tried to host it and bring the community together. I think we met at a tweet up.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. Well, let me ask you this, because you have a very interesting background. How did you get started with social media working for Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment?
It's funny, you know, when young people come up to you and they say that they want to work in social media, it didn't exist. There was no course for social media when I was in school, and I think it's really amazing now that they are teaching it in school. And it's becoming far more recognized and a valued component of business, which it really, really is. But I fell into it accidentally. One of those stories where they hired me to do a TV show for Leafs TV and NBA TV Canada, and they said, you know, 30% of this job is going to be doing social media, and I was like, great. I was on Twitter, but I hadn't really used it.
I might tweet a little bit, you're thinking in your head.
I didn't really understand what it was. And John Sinden, my hero, mentor, taught me all about it and really held my hand for the first long time. Like, I'm more than a year for sure, where I was calling him all the time and asking him questions. So I was really unfamiliar with it, and I had tweeted out a couple of things. At the time, I was an ambassador for the David Suzuki Foundation, so most of what I was tweeting was environmental things, telling people to try meatless Mondays and stuff like that, but I had absolutely no interaction with people. I didn't talk to anybody, and I even wondered, why are these people following me now? I didn't really get it. And then when I started working at RealSports, I think the thing that was so amazing about doing the social media was that you were not just doing it online. When people came to the bar or the store, we actually met in person. Yeah. And that just made it even more of a real relationship. I mean, it is real when you talk to people online. You do get to know them, and you do feel that you know them. And when you do actually meet in person, you've already got that history and that foundation for a friendship or a relationship, which is amazing. You feel that much closer to people even when you just meet them for the very first time. But being at RealSports, I was meeting most of these people in person that I was talking to, and it's amazing because they were telling RealSports, "I'm coming tonight. I'm gonna come there tonight." And I've never really seen anybody do that where they're telling a restaurant or a store, "I'm coming to get my jersey tonight," or whatever. And then it started turning into customer service stuff where they had questions. How long is it going to take me to get my jersey crested? Or do you have any sales that are going on? Or whatever it was. And it actually evolved into such a big component of it being customer service. Yeah. I don't think anybody anticipated that. And I, would write these reports and tell people, well, I had this problem or complaint or a suggestion or a question from fans, and, I was always trying to find the answers. And I really honestly do take every single question, comment, and I keep it until it's solved or it's gotten to the place where it needs to go. I don't want to let go of anything, and I think that's been part of my success is that I do take it all very seriously. And even though sometimes your timeline is throttling and it's hard to see everything that's going through because there are so many comments during the hockey game or a big event like Terrence Ross, getting the winning the slam dunk competition. It was just like so much. But that one comment that might just fly by, I go back and I make sure I check it and try to address all of those issues and questions and really make our fans and our guests and our customers feel that they're important to us and that we want to help them and give them those answers and not just, there's nothing worse to me than tweeting at a company and not getting an answer back, and I've done it so many times. Yeah. Very specific questions about whatever product I was looking for, and just to know we don't carry it anymore or whatever. I mean,
at least having an answer for
it makes me crazy when people have these Twitter accounts or these social media accounts and they don't they have them, but they don't use them. They don't do anything with them. Do you know what I mean?
That's a very interesting point you bring up, Gail. Have we as users come to expect that brands, retailers and other brands out there who have these accounts, have we come to expect that if they're on Twitter or on Facebook that they better respond to me as an individual?
I think that social media savvy people, yeah, absolutely. I expect it. Mm-hmm. And when I don't get an answer back, I'm very disappointed. And I just think, well, we're not that important to you, or why do you do it if you're not going to do it well?
And then does that reflect bad on that brand? So if you're interacting with ABC retailer,
yeah,
and you're trying to get an answer for them or get some sort of question answered, and you don't hear back from them, let's say you're using Twitter, does that reflect poorly in your mind on that brand?
Yeah.
And then does that impact your relationship?
As a consumer, 100%.
Fantastic.
And when I do get the answer back, I love that brand. I think, wow, you took the time to answer me. You don't even know who I am, and yet you were able to, spend that minute, or maybe it's longer. Sometimes it takes time to get that information that people want. But I just feel like if you're not going to address those and you're just going to have, all these unanswered questions, it'd almost be better to not do it. Just don't do that. If you're good at Facebook and you do address those Facebook things, then stick to Facebook.
Yeah.
But to have a barren account where, it's either nothing is coming out of it, it's very inconsistent, people tweet once a month, or whatever it is, then it's almost better just to not do it, I think.
And it seems like that belief in terms of what you expect from a brand, you've internalized that and said, well, if I'm going to be representing RealSports apparel, I want to make sure that I'm treating people the way I would like to be treated.
Absolutely.
By a brand. People
know MLSE, people hear about RealSports, but they're never going to maybe talk to the executives or the players or, some of those people, but they do interact with me. So if I can leave our guests and our customers with a positive experience, I mean, that is my goal, is that every single person that has an interaction with me, whether it's in person, through Twitter, through Facebook, whatever it is, if they leave with a positive feeling about RealSports, I've done my job, then I feel good about everything, because that's what I'm the one that is that direct person of contact in all of these mediums, whether it's any of the social media platforms, Google Plus, Twitter, Facebook, all of them. I'm the one that is answering the questions, and I'm the only one that's doing it. So I know if something slips through the cracks, it's my fault.
Something happens.
Yeah.
So it's not really a 9-to-5 job. It's like you're on.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm curious, Gail. We spoke about it a little bit earlier on when we had first met. You're doing a lot of the social media management, the engagement through your personal Twitter account. And it seemed to have impacted the brands that you represent in a very positive way, because I firmly believe that a lot of people believe it as well, even if they're tweeting or messaging from a corporate account, there's always a human face to it.
Right.
And you took it to, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but you took it to that next step, saying, people want to talk to Gail at RealSports, so why not just talk to them from my personal account? How did that impact how people felt about the brands that you were representing? I'm curious.
Well, just like you said, I think it puts that face, that human quality to this logo, this brand, this big company that you don't really know who's running it or who to talk to if you have an issue, whether it's the store or the bar or whatever it is. If there's something that you need to know, it's like you don't know who to contact.
Yeah.
You know that there's these outlets, but to have a real person, it also creates that accountability, whereas that person's the one that's supposed to answer you. So it's a feeling that that our guests get, that they're being taken care of in a very personal manner as well. It's not just this big, huge company that's faceless and you don't know who's making the decisions or making the comments. And for people to know that it's coming from one person, I think is really. It's been an amazing model, and it wasn't my idea.
Sure.
It was the marketing people at MLSE that decided that there should be a personality attached with this. Just like at the time, the Leafs had Monica. So she was their point of contact. So I think that, they saw this and they saw we're having this new brand, RealSports, with no background, no history, none of, what comes with having a team for a long time. And all of those things. So they decided to have a personality for the brand. And it's just amazing because I think it create that accountability as well as the credibility, because you know that you're who you're dealing with, and you know that they're gonna follow up on it and take it seriously. So it's not just this tweet at the logo that you don't know who's accountable for answering for it.
True. Well, so you've been there for the past 3 years, and in those 3 years, there's been a hockey strike.
Yeah,
lockout.
A basketball lockout.
There's been a basketball lockout. So the two main tenants of ACC have had work stoppages, and especially the location. Obviously, if we're honest, it's in a location right beside ACC. They built condos there, so it's being built up, but it's not a in its short lifespan, it hasn't, especially the apparel store, hasn't been, if I want a jersey or if I want something, I'm going to go to RealSports. Maybe it's becoming that way. But I'm very curious, the impact that those events had and how you guys handled it on social in terms of how do we get more people to come here anyways. I'm very curious what your thoughts are and what you guys did during those times.
That's exactly what you rely on social media for, is when you don't have that foot traffic that's going to be there anyway.
Yeah.
So I think RealSports is just so amazing, especially the apparel store and some of the stuff that they have done, not just to give somebody something to take home as a sale or something like that, but the experiences that they offer there. We've had fashion shows for some of our lines that not many sports stores do, and we've had some really cool people come in and talk to us. We've had Biz Nasty there. We've had obviously a lot of players. We've had our Leafs and our Raptors, as well as we've had the Buffalo Bills come and do these all access shows. So this is an experience that you're having at RealSports where you don't have to buy anything. And you can come and experience the store, see what it's all about, meet players, get autographs, get your pictures taken with them, meet the personalities of the Raptors, the Leafs, as well as RealSports, and interact with them. And just, it's amazing because it's this experience. It's not just you're taking something home or you're buying something. It's like a memory that, is going to be there with you after that t-shirt is frayed. And these kinds of things are amazing. I don't know of any other store that does that kind of stuff, and it's really taken that interaction with the fans and the guests and the customers to a totally new level, because it's not that they're taking something home, they're taking that day home.
The feeling, the experience.
And it's great to grab a t-shirt, because that t-shirt will also remind you of that day, and maybe you got it autographed by one of the players, but having those live interactive shows where the fans can ask the players their questions is something that is just, I've never seen anybody else do it, and I just think it's genius, and I'm so proud to be a part of it.
And it probably makes your job that much more easier.
Oh, I see spikes in numbers when we do those sorts of things, absolutely. And then you're also attracting the different types of fans. So we've branched out, we've done lacrosse all access, we've done NFL all access, and so doing those kinds of things, the Ordogh as well, you're inviting these other, groups into your area, whereas, it might be mainly Leafs and Raptors, but we do have so many other leagues that we carry there, and so I think one of the other cool things about RealSports apparel, I really do love the stores, you can tell.
And you're wearing their t-shirt as well?
Yeah, always. Every time I do anything, I wear stuff from RealSports, and I think that's another part of it. It's like these layers of things that you're doing. You're not just doing Twitter or Facebook. You're doing things in real life with real people. I'm wearing their product on television, and it's just this layering of kind of doing it in different ways, because people consume their information and their entertainment in different ways too. You get those people that they only like Instagram, so you have to cater to that. They're not going to go to Twitter to get that information. So, you kind of have to cater to all of them. And
so would you say that, a lot of companies still operate in silos, where they will say, especially when it comes to social media, you know what, you social media folks, you do whatever it is that you guys do, and we're kind of operating here. And it seems to me, especially with RealSports and that brand, that it's how do we get everybody on the same page.
And it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to do their own thing, and there's always a level of competition, even sometimes within the same company that you're in. as far as, you know, wanting to build your brand and do a good job, and there's other brands as well. But the great thing is that we really do all help each other out.
Yeah.
Everyone's been amazing at, you know, retweeting, and obviously we carry product from all of the teams, so we kind of are like a hub in that way, and then we're able to support everything that everyone else is doing. So it's been great in that sense that we can, you know, use all of those assets and affiliations to help build our following and to cater to all the things that people want and need. Interesting.
I want to talk about doing social media, especially because, you know, RealSports, there's that location, right? And so people experience that brand online through the channels that you operate in, whether it's, you know, photos on Instagram, videos on YouTube. You know, I've also seen some Vine videos from whoever takes care of the Raptors account, or, you know, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook. You know, people are experiencing the brand there, but really you want people's feet to walk through the doors. You want people to go online and order product, order jerseys, and so on and so forth. How has that impacted the work that you do, knowing that you need people to actually take some sort of an action, whether it's coming through their door or ordering online? How has that impacted your work? Have you found that you're doing more tweets or messages in regards to promoting product and services?
Absolutely, and I always try to do things as far as, like, you do want people to come there so that they do have access and see what's going on and what they can get, obviously. And I try to do contests if I have any swag to give away, tickets, whatever it is, things that will bring people to the store.
Promote it on Facebook and Twitter if you want 2 tickets at TFC.
Right.
Meet
Find me here.
Yeah.
Or we just did the Leafs party, which was a big viewing party for the Leafs Sens game. And yeah, I took a picture of Carlton in front of it, and I said, come and find us in RealSports, or Maple Leaf Square.
Yeah.
And we tweeted that the night before, and then the morning of, and then, you know, at 4 o'clock, we had told everybody, this is what you have to do, just come and meet us.
Yeah.
And you can get into the game and watch the game with us. And of course, they had free food and drinks for everybody that was there. It was really amazing. But it's like, yeah, you're getting them to the venue. And that is part of the mission, right? Is to get those people through the doors and hopefully show them something that they like and need and they would like. And beyond that, little contests, the experiential stuff as far as like the all access shows, people that may not just come to the store to buy something, but they'll come to meet their favorite players.
Interesting.
Or the fact that some of the exclusivity that we've had at RealSports apparel as well, and that you cannot get a Raptors jersey printed anywhere in the country except at RealSports.
And to actually message that out and let people know.
Not just the Raptors, NBA jerseys. We're the only ones that are licensed to do that. During the NFL season, we have a license to crest NFL jerseys. Again, the only people in Canada that were able to do that. We do crest Leaf jerseys on site. So these are other things that you can't necessarily get at other places. So it's about that exclusivity and giving the fans something that they can't get at any of these other stores.
Nice.
It's really something that's exceptional and different and unique to RealSports. So I think that also attracts a lot of people as well.
It's interesting, and I want to kind of piggyback on, you know, some of these promotions and awareness of, you know, of the exclusivity and of RealSports, and talk about content. You know, over the years, what sort of content do you find resonates with people? Is it just about, you know, I want free tickets, or I want free this, free that, or, you know, do people still engage with photos and engage with videos? I'm curious what you have found really, really works well to get people to take action.
To take action, or do you mean like as far as how many views you're getting?
Let's talk about both. Let's talk about, you know, let's talk about
taking action.
Yeah.
That's a harder thing to do.
Yeah.
It's as far as taking action, I've done contests where it's like, yeah, send me the video and you could win X.
Sure.
Now, I think that you're going to get a lot more entries into your contest if you just use a hashtag. And the prize has to be really big if you want someone to do a video. Like, you better be sending them on a trip or something, because people don't have that much time to do things, and you know, it's not a guarantee that you're going to win. So, you know, you don't know, are there going to be millions of people entering this thing or just 10, right? So you don't know. And I think people are weary of investing sometimes that much time. But if you do have a substantial prize, I have gotten videos, you know, I have been able to get a few videos and pictures as well.
Nice.
And I think, you know, it depends on what it is. If I've been wanting to do a contest where we do like a t-shirt giveaway and just show us your oldest, rattiest, dirtiest t-shirt. Send us a picture and we'll give you a new t-shirt. We'll win a new t-shirt.
Sure.
So things like that do work, but it's definitely, you know, it depends on what are you looking for, right? Are you looking for that engagement? Are you looking to grow your base outside of the people that are already following you? Because
so what do you do in that regard? Let's talk about that.
In that case, I would make, you know, you need to make the prize available to people outside of your network. I mean, anybody can enter just through a tweet or whatever it is. You don't necessarily have to come down to find that person to win the prize, because that's going to eliminate a whole bunch of people.
Sure.
Or I know we're talking about retail today, but we do something called Tab Grab Thursday in the bar, where we ask people to tweet their table number as well as a hashtag. At the end of the night or the end of the game, we give one table $100 off their bill. So that is a you know, engagement of people that are already loving your brand, that are already there, that are already engaging with you. Yes, we get new people to sign up on Twitter as well, just to interact and do this Tab Grab Thursday with us. But it's not really going to build your following, but it is going to keep those people, and it will build it in the sense that these people all have warm, fuzzy feelings about your brand, and they talk about it to their friends and they tweet about it. Absolutely, that is amazing. But as far as, you're not going to get people that aren't already following you or already in the bar to enter, because they can't win. They have to be there, right? Yeah. So that's when we do other contests. Once we did really the only Facebook contest that I can remember where we, you know, we're trying to get more likes. It was when we first started, and I'm not a fan of asking for likes at all. Like, people know they can like your brand, and I cringe when I get those DMs, like our Facebook page. Like, that's just, we know it's insulting almost. Like, people know that they can like if they want to. I don't do that, but we gave away some tickets to the UFC fight, the first UFC fight in Canada. It was sold out. Or the first UFC fight in Toronto, I should say. It was sold out. It was at the Rogers Centre, 80,000 people. So that we did as a prize or a contest that was, you know, available to people outside that were just liking us on Facebook. And so we did see a definite increase in our numbers through that promotion. And doing things like that where you're not necessarily having to be there on location, like you were talking about the location stuff, but opening it up to people that are just online. I think that's like an amazing way to open it up and build it up, and to get people that are not necessarily already associating with your brand or engaging with your brand, because they see that as a, you know, a cool thing, and they want to have their chance, and they are able to have that chance. Whereas some of these other localized contests, it's not necessarily open to everybody, right? You have to be there, or you have to go there, or stuff like that. So that's the trade-off, right? You get that true engagement with the fans that are already liking you, and you're really, they're going to love you forever if they've had this great experience or this great interaction with you. And then, you know, the other side is that it's not necessarily something that's rewarding the people that are already there. They're welcome. They can, you know, obviously be considered for the prize too, but when you open it up in that way online, you're going to get that many more people that are able to win, so that much more interest.
I guess with RealSports having an e-commerce platform,
which is something new that we've just started. And it was just launched last November.
And that helps. That you know, that impacts. And you know what? Now we're not just targeting Toronto.
Yes, it's amazing, because now I have these people from England or Vancouver who have been tweeting me for years saying, I want to buy this, and I, you know, we're doing it the old-fashioned way. Call the store, we ship it to them. But it was difficult. You would have to, you know, email pictures and content, product information, and all of that stuff. Now having e-commerce is so exciting, because it's available to everybody, and you know, we're able to now share all of our products with the whole country,
the world.
So it's amazing.
Has that impacted some of the work that you're doing, or at all?
As far as my social media stuff, I try to highlight some individual items that we have. We had an exclusive deal on our RealSports.ca, and that was for the TFC jerseys. I know you're a TFC fan. So they did a pre-order where if you pre-ordered the TFC jersey, you got tickets to the home opener at the Rogers Center on March the 9th.
That's right.
And you also, the first 25 people were invited to the kickoff party where they unveiled the new jersey. And so this was only available online. You couldn't do this in the store.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't do it anywhere else. And you could only do it through there, and you got that extra reward as well. So that's another exclusive thing that we did, and specifically for the e-commerce. And I think we're going to start doing some more of that stuff too. It's just, we just got it started, so don't want to overwhelm yourself. But make sure everything's working right and everything's going the right way, and then we can start doing some more stuff with that too.
Do you think because you're working with a popular brand, you're working with a consumer popular brand, right? That it has almost made what you do just a little bit more easier than if you were working with an unknown startup brand?
I think in some ways it certainly helps, and in some ways it can be even more challenging because you are so closely watched by the media, by everybody. People, they recognize the brand. It's only been 3 years, and it's amazing because I look at other chains of restaurants or retail stores, and some of them don't have the same fan engagement or followers that we do in such a short time, and for a brand new brand. I mean, everybody was kind of just starting to get on Twitter a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
So, but not everybody was a new brand. So it's kind of different when you have that, history with your clients and your guests. And we were totally new, and we've exceeded so many of those people. And I think that being a big company and having the help of, sometimes, the Leafs or the Raptors will tweet about maybe a prize that we've donated to their Tweet of the Night contest or something like that certainly helps. But I think in some ways you're even more under
people are watching
scrutiny in that sense. And, and you really do have to make sure that you cross all your T's and dot all your I's and make sure that, there's no spelling mistakes or things like that, because you are under a watchful eye and people are paying a little bit closer attention to what you're doing. True.
We talked about e-commerce at RealSports. I know at 11, which is I guess more of a, would you call it a fine dining?
Casual fine dining.
Casual fine dining
designation
experience.
Yes.
People are utilizing iPads to make their orders and things of that nature. How has that impacted the experience at 11? And is that experience going to come to the the social media savvy crowds at RealSports, the bar and the apparel store?
As far as 11 is concerned?
Yeah, in terms of, having the iPads at 11.
Oh, okay.
And is that experience also going to be shared with the other brands?
In a way, yeah. We actually have, this is really cool. It's a bit of a pilot project for RealSports apparel.
Okay.
In which they are, during the game, they have a crew that delivers iPads with full catalog so that people actually in the suites are able to order their jersey and have it delivered to them by the end of the game.
Interesting.
So it's a pilot project they started last year, and it's been working. They're doing it again this year. So now you're going to a game, and you're actually being catered to. You're in your suite. You don't have to leave. We've got the iPad there. You can order your custom crested jersey, and you will have it by the end of the game. So that's something that's really, really cool. That
that's really
I've never
interesting.
heard of anybody
neat.
doing before, and we do it on an iPad as well. The clientele from 11 to RealSports is a little bit different,
Yes.
They're not as social media savvy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they love seeing pictures of the food that is coming up there, the people that work there, and just feeling like the place and some of the special things that they have going on, and we've had really great feedback, especially posting food for 11.
Yes, that's always popular. Food on food and photos.
Yes.
That's fantastic. No, thanks for sharing that. And you haven't told it to any other media outlets, have you? About this new pilot that you guys are doing, right? So this is an exclusive here for people that are watching. So that is awesome. Gail, thank you so much for coming in. I really, really appreciate it.
Appreciate having me here.
Yeah, and it's we have to catch up more often.
Okay.
Than just, official business.
That sounds good.
Let's say. Where can people find you and interact with you online? Where's the best place?
At Gail Gabrielle on Twitter.
Fantastic. And if they want to shout out to 11 or RealSports, what are their handles?
At RealSports and at 11 Toronto. And it's E11EVEN.
There you go.
Toronto.
And we'll make sure we put that in our show notes. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for joining us. Again, my name is Karim Kanji. Check us out at thirdocean.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at Karim Kanji. Thank you. Bye-bye.